John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, my name is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert with almost 30 years of experience in the industry. Spent time at FICO, which is the credit scoring company, and Equifax, which is one of the 3 generally recognized credit reporting agencies. Today we're going to talk about checking your credit reports, okay? This seems kind of like a simple topic, but I think when we start digging down into it a little bit, I think I want to underscore the importance of doing so, give you some ideas of why you want to do it, where you can do it, and also some places where you can get credit scores. The interesting thing about what I'm going to talk to you about today is you're not going to need your wallet, you're not going to need a credit card, because every option that I'm going to give you is free. So you're not going to have to spend any money to take advantage of any of these things that I'm going to talk about. So I think the first thing that we need to identify is what type of credit report do you have access to? It's kind of an odd question, isn't it? Don't I have access to the credit report? You have access to a credit report disclosure, okay? There are 2 types of credit reports that are in commercial circulation today. There are disclosures and credit reports. And I realize that I'm kind of playing a little bit tight with the language here, but to use really accurate credit reporting nomenclature, it's important that I say it this way. A disclosure is a style of credit report that is for consumers. So these are the credit reports that you have the right to under federal law, and some of you, depending on where you live, you may have rights to additional credit reports based on the state where you live. But those credit reports are called disclosures. So they are designed to disclose information to you, the consumer. Credit reports, those that are used by lenders and other users of credit reports, are called credit reports. Credit reports are not available to consumers. Disclosures are not available to users. And so a bank would never pull your disclosure, and then you would never pull the style of credit report that your bank would pull. Yes, the information is redundant, but not 100% redundant. The layout of disclosures is very different than the layout of a credit report. A credit report is actually in a language called Metro 2. Right, that's the standard credit reporting language that those reports are delivered in, if you will, and that's how they're reported by companies that report information to the credit bureaus. Disclosures have legends and they're color coded, and there's plain English explanations as to what certain things mean. That information is clearly not on a credit report that's being sent to ABC Bank, okay? So I think it's important that we at least understand or acknowledge that there's 2 different types of reports, and the ones that you have access to are disclosures. Why in the world do I want you to start checking your credit reports? Well, because the information is pretty important. It's used as the basis for loans, credit cards, jobs, insurance. It's used for a lot of things other than just getting some sort of form of credit. If you have errors on your credit reports, the credit reporting agencies don't know that you have errors. They don't know if a late payment is correct or incorrect. They presume that that information is accurate. So you should be checking your credit reports from time to time, if for nothing else than just to check to make sure that the information is correct. Where do I get my credit reports? There is no shortage of places on the internet that will happily give you a credit report. However, there is only one source that is out there because of federal law. The Fair Credit Reporting Act in 2003 was amended, and that amendment mandates that the credit reporting agencies set up this central source where consumers can claim copies of their credit reports pursuant to federal law. That's annualcreditreport.com. You've probably heard of this website over and over and over again if you've do any research about credit reports. This is the only website where you can claim what I call your federal freebies. And because of COVID and the credit reporting agencies, did the right thing, and I think that they deserve some credit for this, you can actually get free copies of your credit reports from annualcreditreport.com weekly through April 2022. Weekly. So you have to be a pretty voracious consumer of your credit reports to take advantage of this, but to the extent that you are, you can pull a copy from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. I mean, you could have it with your morning coffee every Wednesday and just boom, do it every single week through the end of April of next year, or 2022. So I think that's great. Credit scores. Where can I get my credit scores? The credit scores are not gonna come on these reports, okay? Your credit scores are not disclosed with the reports that you pull through annualcreditreport.com. If you wanna get a FICO score, FICO has a program, very successful program that's been around for a few years called Open Access, FICO Open Access. It's on their website if you want to read about it. There are some press releases you could probably still find if you did some Googling. There are literally a list of companies, pages and pages long, that are participating in FICO's Open Access program. And if you have an account with any of these companies, then every single month you have the ability to see the FICO score that that particular company pulled from the credit bureaus for the purposes of account management. And so every 30 days, you're gonna have an updated FICO score that you can check through one of your lenders. It's a pretty good chance that you do have a relationship with a lender that is participating in FICO's Open Access program, which means that you have access to free FICO scores, usually once every 30 days. If you wanna check your VantageScore credit score, again, there's no shortage of places where you can get those. You can get those from a variety of websites, what I call freemium websites, where you can sign up as a registered user for free, and in exchange, you get copies of credit report summaries and credit scores. So Credit Karma is a pretty well-known one, and you can't turn on your television without seeing an advertisement for Credit Karma. And Amex, Cap One, Chase, US Bank, so come on, they're the most recognized banks on the planet. They all have partnerships and are also giving away free Vantage scores through a variety of educational programs. Again, free through April of next year. You're not gonna have to pay for any of this stuff. Look, I understand that there are places online where you can pay for certain things, pay for credit reports, pay for credit scores. That's fine, right? I mean, we're capitalists, and if they can sell you a product or service, then more power to them. If I could do it, I would do it too. So no criticism. But there's a lot of places where you can get this stuff at no cost. And so to the extent that you don't want to spend any money and get this information, then I suggest you do so. And so I get a lot of questions from people, well, which one? You know, which one should I? You know what I say? I say do all of them. I say get all of your Vantage scores, get all of your FICO scores, sign up through all these different freemium websites. All you're doing is ignoring a few marketing emails from time to time. That's pretty easy, delete, right? And you get access to all this information. And to the extent that you're gonna be overwhelmed with free information, I guess is my point. So there should never be a scenario where someone says, gosh, I have no idea what my credit report looks like, or I have no clue what my FICO or VantageScore credit scores are. That should never be those words should never come out of your mouth, because there's so many places where you can get this stuff at no cost, and the stuff is so darn important, especially when it comes to accuracy, that it's really a good idea for you to become engaged or more engaged with your credit report information. So if you have any comments, drop them in the section below and I'll be happy to get to them. Thank you very much for your time. It was nice talking to you, and we'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.